when you're leaving Christianity or any religion into spiritual life, sometimes it can be a bit tricky. You may feel like you don't know what path to take, because there's no set guide, there's no fundamentals. But there are fundamentals, but it's not really laid out in the way that all the other religions are. You have particular beliefs, particular ways to pray, particular. Uh, there's a consensus, there's a framework. There's a curriculum. Well, when you first leave Christianity or other religions, it's like, so where do I go from here? And then most people don't end up leaving that particular religion because they feel like they've lost all bearings. So without knowing it, I guess I, had to be brave and just dive in. But that's just my nature. But I understand that not everyone is like that. But I'm just encouraging you that if you know that something's not working for you and you have your doubts and you have your questions, don't stay in one particular place just because you feel like you're afraid. There's nothing to fear on the other side of life. There is, I can't even come here and tell you that there's no hell, there's no heaven, there's no this, there's no that. Because, once again, it would just be someone telling you. You need to understand and know these things for yourself. And you're not going to do that by staying where you are. So, what do? Listen to your spirit. Your spirit, the spirit that is in you, is the spirit of God. It is this. There's no separation between you and the Almighty One. The Almighty One is directing and guiding you. Believe that, whether you're inside of Christianity or not. Especially as a Christian, I can relate more to you maybe, and speak directly to you because I was once there. Even when you're in the backslidden state, the Spirit still speaks to you, and He'll speaking to you to come back, really, to that Christianity. It's speaking to you to come back to the right path, to do what you know inside of you is right for you, because you can't say that sleeping around, smoking, partying all the time is in any way a benefit to you. You can't say that's in any way a benefit to you. Yeah? Gambling, doing drugs, selling drugs, doing all kinds of fraudulent activity. You can't say that these things will are things that you want to pass. Well, ideally, because some people still will pass these things down. Ideally, these are not things that you want to pass down to your children. These are not things that you want to stand up and be proud of. Even though we know the world that we live in today, that people are proud of all manners of things, but ideally, and from your background, from your perspective as well, these are not things to be boastful of. Yes? So it's not like the Spirit is bringing you back to Christianity or whatever religion, but it's bringing you back to the path that will best serve your spirit, best grow you in a way that you will be of much benefit to humanity, you know? Um, another thing I would like to share is that you should just I'm thinking of another way to say it, but it's essentially listen to your spirit. Listen to your spirit. Do not doubt yourself. The way I left was and this was like in 2015. So it's quite a long time ago, but it's just now I'm actually talking, well, it's just now I'm on social media, so but I guess that's why it's just now I'm speaking about it. But yeah, the way I left was at the height, it was at the peak of me being in church, in the sense of I have gone through that stage of, I was very active in church. I was in like 3 4 different departments, always in church. If when we have all these like seminars where you're going every day, I'm there every day, or just normal weekly service, for Wednesday, Friday, maybe Tuesday intercessors, Sunday we have 3 services. I'm at the 3 services, that kind of vibe. So I've been through that, and also when you're so active, sometimes you don't get enough time to also just stay in the Word. So I've been through all different stages in church life, but the time that I will say I was at my closest connection is when I was feeding myself. I'll say I was feeding myself in the sense that my church activity was no longer sitting at the front, but I was at the back of the church. I was sitting at the back of the church because I was losing connection with the whole ministration. And it was more of a hunger, a desire for, what was I desiring? I was desiring and I was just hungry for, yeah, for righteousness, for truth, there was a hunger, a desire for something more, something greater. Because what was coming to me was, this just can't be it. This isn't just it. There's something more. There's something more. Literally, the words that were dropping into my spirit is, there's something more than Jesus. There's actually something more than Jesus. So that was how it started for me. So however it's going on for you right now, I think the thing is fear, that most people may face. I wasn't just afraid. I was like, once I started hearing the truth and understanding other things, I was more angry. Like, yo, you need to wake up. You guys need to wake up and leave the church. What the hell? I was on that kind of flex, and it wasn't good really, because it seared many relationships, and it, I could have been more of a light to other people. But then again, how are you going to be a light? Am I going to still keep going and preaching another gospel while there? Like, that made no sense. Like, this is it. I know what I know. There's no point in me staying. Peace out. So you just got to take the leap, you know, and spend that time as you would, instead of maybe going to the church, spend that time just building your prayer life, um, and being open to the things that will come thereafter. You know, obviously, yes, we do know that there are evils out there. There are dark things in the spiritual realm, but the same thing in Christianity. Yes, but it's sugar-coated, it's covered up, it's disguised as good, but you don't know that some of those ministers are actually evil. You feel me? So, no, for real, like, just take your time and don't rush into things, yes, because there are things that you'll then find yourself trying to run back to Christianity, but that's not the answer. Take your time. Listen to the spirit that is guiding you. The Almighty will not lead you astray. You've gotten a path. Christianity, maybe, or the religion that you're coming from, is a path, is a foundation, and do not throw out the baby with the bathwater. Because when I initially left, I threw out the baby with the bathwater. I was like, hell, I can do this and do that and do that, and it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean anything. Look, certain foundations are good, and you should keep them. All right, guys. Peace out now. Do follow your spirit. That's the main thing. Follow your spirit, please. Do not feel like it's a demon speaking to you. Do not feel like you're being possessed. Do not feel. Listen, follow your spirit. And inside you, you have the discernment of what is good and bad. Yes, I know, again, in this world, maybe lines are so blurred sometimes, but just sit down with yourself, yes, and your Almighty within you. Yes? Sit down and think things out yourself. Don't be carried away with things so much outside and what people are doing. Be concerned about your personal journey. All right, guys, peace out.